Welcome to Cyber Espresso podcast, your quick chat of cybersecurity insights with industry leaders. I welcome today's guest, Stuart Job, Chief Operating Officer at CIS Group. Stuart, welcome to our podcast.
Well, thank you.
Stuart, according to the recent IBM data breach report, a cyber breach can go undetected up to 7 to 2 months, on average for 204 days. Is it acceptable?
Uh, no, but I think it's certainly happening. We just hear about it all the time. I mean, a week doesn't go by where there's a new high-profile breach, and typically the hackers are sat there for a long time period because they want to build up a pattern of life. So no, it's not acceptable, but I think it's not going to change in the near future.
And why do you think it will not change?
Well, I think there still seems to be that disconnect between cyber teams and execs, and I think a lot of companies just aren't doing the basics well. When we go in to advise companies, we will normally say it's all about the basics. It's ensuring that the
Mhm.
people are aware what they need to do and putting their hands up when they make a mistake. It's having the right supporting technology and not seeing technology as a silver bullet, and then putting the processes in place to support both those things. So companies really need to go back to basics and focus on that.
Okay. So I am reading the cybersecurity breaches survey prepared by the government of UK. 42% of small businesses experienced a cyber attack or breach in the past year. In your opinion, do small business leaders take proactive actions, or do they seem to believe they are too small to be a target?
Yes, I think some companies do think they're too small, but as we know that the hackers will look for the low hanging fruit, and ultimately, if you're making payments, you're going to be a target. I think there's some excellent resources on the NCSC website that gives you all the information you need to know as a small business owner. And I think a lot of companies aren't taking advantage of that. And I think small businesses need to really start thinking about it, but they struggle to know where to start because they don't necessarily have the expertise in house, which is why they should look at external companies like yourselves or us to provide advice.
So basically, that ignorance coming from the leaders is basically they don't have enough resources or budget, or they just pretend that they don't care.
I think it's both. I think we're in challenging economic times, so but a budget people still see cybersecurity as a cost, and until you've been breached and you realise how expensive it
Yeah,
can
correct.
be, it's difficult to sort of work out that ROI. Definitely, there's a challenge with resources because they won't need the cybersecurity person in house. They often outsource their IT. So no, having a sort of trusted advisor they can turn to is a challenge. But I think there are ways through it. There's plenty of external companies who focus on SMEs, and it's just about doing your research, doing some networking, and finding someone who can give you some advice.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. And in one of your recent posts on LinkedIn, you made a compelling remark. Resilience requires people and process, not just technology. Can you
Yeah.
expand on your thoughts, please?
Yeah, I mean, it does because ultimately you can have the best technology and process, and we all know that people click on links because people are inquisitive. So you do need to make people aware, and it's not just about making people watch videos and tick box online training. It's about having a culture where if someone makes a mistake, they feel that they can put their hand up quickly rather than having a culture where people don't want to do that. But you then have the processes and technology that mean that if you do get breached, and let's face it, most companies will get breached, you're protecting the crown jewels, you're protecting your key data, you're protecting your payment processes, and you have the technology both to alert you that something's
Mhm.
happened, but also react to it, and the processes as well. So, for example, you've got an exec team who are fully aware of a business continuity plan and an incident response plan, and they've rehearsed it. And all that sort of thing ties together.
Yeah, it makes sense. So, Stuart, I appreciate your time and being part of our podcast and sharing your insights. I look forward to our conversation, maybe in other occasions. I truly appreciate your availability.
Likewise, and thank you for inviting me on, Murat. Nice to talk to you.
Take care.